Hello and welcome back to another Final Fantasy XIV video with me, Meoni. This time a news update for Fan Festival 2023 European version over in London, which I'll be attending hopefully in person, which, come what may, obviously with the recent sort of situations in Ballsack Cheese Face. Hello and welcome back to another news video for Final Fantasy XIV. This then talking about the stage and stream schedule for Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival 2023 in London, Europe, which obviously I will be going to in person. I'm very excited, and we've got the schedule of what we can actually see and do at the event. So if you're going or if you're not going, you should still be able to get some information from this, whether you're in America or wherever you are worldwide. So you can actually watch this live. Basically everything that will happen at the event will be broadcast, apart from the playtesting of that special trial, which North American visitors of Fan Festival probably already know about, which is unrelated to the game at the moment, will probably be used in the future, similar to how we've had other events for like Dunscape and stuff with Proto Ultima, that sort of stuff, as well as of course the concerts. Those won't be broadcast either, and any press conferences and things like that as well. But what will be broadcast is all of the staged events and things like that, which they talk about here. And you can watch that on the 21st and 22nd of October for both day 1 and day 2 of Fanfest 2023 London on the YouTube channel, and of course their official Twitch channel as well. The URLs, they say, will be added at a later date. Link in the description of this video for this, by the way. The stage events then on day 1 starts at 9 AM GMT until 10:30 AM, which is 2000 hours, 2130 AEDT. That's when the keynote happens. So this will be where we get our main big juicy news of obviously Dawn Trail, right? The second part of that will likely have a second trailer, which will hopefully introduce the first of the 2 jobs coming in Dawn Trail. I'm very excited for that, and we'll obviously have the keynote discussion as well. It will of course be in both English and Japanese. They'll have a live translator there. Of course we'll have a breakdown of this in the future after the event is over, as I will likely make that video in the evening. We also have the opening ceremony at 10:30, which won't be too much interest to a lot of people who are not going. Basically it'll introduce the show itself and what's going to happen. Then there's actually our first major panel at 11:30 AM. This lasts until 1:30, which is a dev panel. It says, how are the fields, dungeons and towns designed in the world of Final Fantasy XIV? Join Yoshi P as he sits down with members of the dev team for a talk about all things environmental in this development panel. On that panel is Naoki Yoshida, Matsuda Shida, Tatsuya Okahisha, I can't speak, and that's in English and Japanese as well. That's going to be really interested, and hopefully we get some information about another field instance in the future, because personally I'm a big fan of Eureka style stuff, so hopefully we go back to that in Dawn Trail, who knows. Then we've got at 2 o'clock GMT, we've got Who Wants to Be a Gillionaire 2. Who Wants to Be a Gillionaire is back. Join us for a showdown between Team Heidelin and Team Zodiac as they battle their way to glory through a series of challenging questions. This has got Natasha Cheng and Julia Horpner on there. In English, it's kind of like a bit of a filler thing, but it could be quite a bit, a bit of fun. Then at 15:30 till 1700 hours GMT, we've got Welcome to Naoki's Room. This is where basically a lot of people are like, oh boy, I wish I had got tickets, and a lot of people are very excited because Yoshi P is joined by the Final Fantasy series founder Hironobu Sakaguchi to chat about his adventures as a warrior of light. So if you didn't know, earlier this year or last year, I forget which now, Hironobu Sakaguchi, the guy who founded Final Fantasy in the first place, has been playing Final Fantasy XIV and sharing his adventures on social media. It's been quite interesting to drop in and have a look. And in the second half, they actually have a Q&A session, and you can actually submit questions. There's a link. So if you want to get your questions potentially asked by the man himself, you have until the 18th of September at that time, GMT, at 22:59, Monday the 18th of September, to get those questions in. So you've got plenty of time at the time of this video going out on the 12th. So get those questions in if you have burning questions. And that's what they're going to be talking about. But what an absolute treat. It's going to be lovely to see them in person. Then at the evening, we have the piano performance by Keiko on the first night. Of course, that will not be broadcast, unfortunately, but for those of us that are going to be there, obviously Masayoshi Soken will likely do his stand-up comedy section with the automaton and things like that. Always a laugh. On day 2 then, we've got a stroll with Yoshi P at 9 AM till 10:30. Hironobu Sakaguchi, the founder of Final Fantasy, tackles some familiar foes from the series. Get ready to hear anecdotes about bosses and content from the Final Fantasy series, as well as a peek behind the scenes with stories from the game's development. So basically, this is going to be huge fan service. You're going to be able to watch this live, and obviously people will be able to see this right at the start of day 2. Then there's the Crystalline Conflict Regional Championships. If you're big into your PvP, then the Europe and Oceania part of that. It says 4 semi-finalist teams bring the excitement to the main stage of Fan Festival to battle it out. Especially though, a huge shout out to the presenters. We've got Rikuri, which is awesome to see them there, and Lythe, Kevin Buffard and Julia Hortner doing the presentation for this and the shoutcasting. It should be quite fun to see. We've got the Glamour to Life cosplay walk. I love glamour events, like the cosplay events in real life. That's at 14:30 till 1600 GMT. Always exciting to see what people come up with. And then we've got at 16:30 Cheering Choice. It says get ready to make some noise for the Cheering Choice game. Show your unwavering support and vote for your favorite answers for some not so serious 14 related questions, either by cheering or voting on a live stream. Again, I'm not sure how, I would have personally preferred a panel, but there we go. And then we've got the Primals live in concert. You will notice that at no point is there even a remote mention of a live letter, which is quite surprising to me that there's no letter from a producer live at this fan festival. Now, not that I naturally expected there to be one, but I do think there's quite a bit more filler than perhaps was, presented in a North American Fan Fest. Hopefully I'm wrong. I do know that there's going to be a press conference at some point. I don't know what information will be brought out that from the various publications they'll be invited. But yeah, very excited to see this stuff in person, and it's going to be lovely to see Hironobu Sakaguchi doing his thing and even playing some of the game as well. But yeah, let me know what you're most excited for. I'm personally excited for concerts in person, as I always am, and to see the lovely Masayoshi Soken. But anyway, much love. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know what you think the actual jobs are going to be. There's still a lot of speculation about that. Let's see if you're right come October, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.